A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development in international trade relations, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced that the United States and China will continue discussions aimed at maintaining a tariff truce set to expire in just 2 weeks. This announcement follows 2 days of intensive negotiations held in Stockholm, where Bessent led the U.S. delegation alongside Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. The final decision regarding any extension of the truce will ultimately rest with President Donald Trump, who is expected to be briefed on the discussions later this week. During a press briefing, Bessent highlighted that while there are still some technical details to iron out, both sides have agreed to keep current tariffs in place. Specifically, the U.S. will maintain a 30% tariff on Chinese goods, while China will continue to impose a 10% tariff on U.S. products. This mutual agreement is seen as a positive step towards stabilizing the trade relationship, which has been fraught with tension and uncertainty. Chinese trade official Li Chenggang characterized the meetings as constructive and candid, noting that both parties engaged in comprehensive discussions about various microeconomic issues. He emphasized the importance of maintaining close communication on trade and economic matters going forward. The backdrop of these discussions is a complex web of trade challenges that have strained U.S.-China relations. The ongoing negotiations aim to address not only tariff levels, but also a range of other critical issues, including American businesses' access to Chinese markets, Chinese investments in the U.S., and the flow of fentanyl precursors from China to the U.S. Additionally, the talks will touch on China's purchases of Russian and Iranian oil, as well as American restrictions on exports of technology, particularly in the realm of artificial intelligence. The meeting in Stockholm marked the latest round of discussions, which began with a nearly 5-hour closed-door session at the Swedish Prime Minister's office. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson hosted Bessent and Greer for breakfast before the talks resumed, highlighting the significance of these discussions on an international stage. While the U.S. has successfully negotiated tariff agreements with several of its trading partners, including the European Union and Japan, the situation with China remains unresolved. Trade Representative Greer noted the pragmatism displayed by Chinese negotiators, but he also acknowledged the ongoing tensions that have characterized the relationship. He expressed cautious optimism about the discussions, stating, "Whether there will be a deal or not, I can't say. But the conversations are constructive and they're going in the right direction." Analysts are watching closely to see if the Stockholm talks will lead to an extension of the current tariff levels, which are significantly lower than the previously proposed rates that sent global markets into a tailspin earlier this year. The initial 90-day pause agreed upon in May is set to end on August 12th, and the stakes are high for both nations as they seek to navigate their economic relationship. The potential for a summit between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping looms large over these discussions. While Trump has publicly stated he is not actively seeking a meeting, he acknowledged that an invitation from Xi has been extended. The outcome of these negotiations could set the stage for a pivotal moment in U.S.-China relations. As the talks progressed, the atmosphere in Stockholm reflected the high stakes involved, with security measures in place to manage the influx of media and public interest in the proceedings. The flags of both nations adorned the Prime Minister's office, symbolizing the importance of this dialogue. In conclusion, the U.S.-China trade negotiations in Stockholm have yielded a temporary extension of the tariff pause, but the final decision rests with President Trump. As officials return to Washington, the focus will shift to the president's assessment of the situation and the potential for future agreements. The outcome of these discussions could have far-reaching implications not only for the two nations, but for the global economy as a whole. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.